Man, does this season just keep throwing stuff at us. Comebacks, playoff clinchers, 63 points scored on Thursday, a head coach being fired, and all kinds of craziness. What is next for this season? What more does it have? What's going on, guys? Diggs Report here. Back to you with another video, and today we are going through my Week 16 picks. That is right. We are in Week 16. 3 games left. Only 4 playoff spots have been clinched, and only 1 division winner has been crowned. Let's get into these games and to how some of these teams will get into the playoffs. Alright, our Thursday night game. New Orleans taking on the Rams. For the Rams, they have just clawed their way back into the playoff race. They are playing some of their best football right now. We will see if that helps. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it looks like for the NFC South, it's going to be them versus Tampa Bay. These two are going to have to be at their best. New Orleans is going to need this win. So are the Rams. Unfortunately for the Saints, I'm going with the Rams on this one. They're playing at home. Plus, I think they're playing better football right now. Also this week, guys, we have 2 Saturday games. The first one is going to be Cincinnati taking on Pittsburgh. And for Pittsburgh, the last 3 weeks could not have gone any worse for them. They lost to 2 teams that have 2 wins. And then they lost again last week. So their playoff hopes have really taken a hit. And now they're changing quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter this week. It's just craziness in Pittsburgh. And for Cincinnati, man, that was a great win. That was a great win by them. I still don't know how T. Higgins, 1, made that catch, and 2, got that touchdown. They have a lot of momentum right now, and Joe Burrow's out for the season. Jake Browning's doing a great job in his place. I'm going with the Bengals over the Steelers. Buffalo taking on the Chargers. For the Chargers, Brandon Staley is out. He is finally done as the Chargers head coach. Yes, Charger fans, that should have been done last year, but not getting into that. He was fired after giving up 63 points to the freaking Raiders after they scored a 0 against the Vikings. Yeah, that's how bad it got for the Chargers. And for the Bills, okay, what is going on with them? First they beat Kansas City, then they beat Dallas. They are back in this playoff race. They win their next 3. They could also still win this division. That's the thing with Buffalo. If things go their way, they could be back as division winners. I'm going with them over the Chargers. Indianapolis taking on Atlanta. Atlanta, they lost to Carolina. And that's all I'm going to say. And for Indianapolis, wonderful win against Pittsburgh. They are positioning themselves for a playoff spot. They're come even closer with a win against Atlanta. I say they get it done. Green Bay taking on Carolina. For Green Bay, their playoff hopes took a big hit after their loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to have to win their last 3, and hopefully something goes their way for them to get into the playoffs. And for Carolina, well, they just got their 2nd win of the season against the Falcons, so it was a good week for them. I don't think they make it 2 in a row. Give me the Packers. Cleveland taking on Houston. This one is the toughest game for me. I cannot figure out who's going to win this game. For Houston, more than likely we were going to have C.J. Stroud back, but that was a wonderful win against the Titans. Able to come back against a division rival, pick up the win in overtime. And for Cleveland, they also had a come-from-behind win against the Bears, and they avoided a scare on a Hail Mary, which is still one of the craziest plays we saw last week. But for this game, it is so tough. Joe Flacco coming off back-to-back 300-yard performances. Yikes, he has found the fountain of youth. And C.J. Stroud, if he's back, one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we have ever seen. It is so tough, but I think Cleveland's defense makes the difference. I'm going with the Browns. Lions taking on Minnesota. For the Lions, it's about as simple as this. Win, you're in. That's because of the Vikings lost last week to the Bengals, and the Lions win. So Lions, you want to wrap up this division? Get the victory against the Vikings. I say they do it. Washington taking on the Jets. Both these teams, they are out of playoff contention. For the Jets, so close to having Aaron Rodgers back, but they're not in the playoff race anymore. There's really no reason for him to come back. Just heal up for next year. And for Washington, they've had some good moments, but they've also had their bad moments. I'm just going to go with the Jets on this one. Seattle taking on Tennessee. Seattle, what a way to get back into the playoff race. Winning against the Eagles with Drew Lock at quarterback. Wow, just simply amazing by the Seahawks. Just when you think they're down, they come right back up. We'll see if that leads to anything. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, it's just been a rough season for them. And I got nothing more to say about that. I'm going with the Seahawks. Jacksonville taking on Tampa Bay. Both these teams, they are in ties for their division. For Jacksonville, a 3-game skid caused them to be in a 3-way tie with both Indianapolis and Houston. They've got to pull some wins together if they want to win this division. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, a win plus a Saints loss puts them one step closer to a division crown. You know what? I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. They are playing great football right now. Arizona taking on Chicago. Arizona played against the 49ers and got the predictable results. And for Chicago, it was anything but predictable against the Browns. They blew a 10-point lead, and then just when it looked like they were going to come away with the win, Darnell Mooney just cannot pull in the Hail Mary pass. Rough one. Really rough one. But I say they get the win against the Cardinals. Dallas taking on Miami. For Miami, they're coming off a win where they shut out the Jets. And if they win their next 2 games, they have the #1 seed in the AFC. That's what's on the line right now. And they can clinch the division this week with a win and a Buffalo loss. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they had a golden opportunity and they did not perform well against Buffalo. They got blown out against Buffalo. They are a really different team when they are on the road. That's why I got to go with Miami over Dallas. Patriots taking on the Broncos. For the Broncos, just what has gotten into this team? I mean, they started 1-5, and now they are just playing great football. They are in the playoff race. This was like a team I don't think anybody wants to face. And for the Patriots, I've run out of things to say about the Patriots. I'll be completely honest. I don't know. 3 wins, worst season since Belichick took over as the head coach. Just give me the Broncos and let me move on. Raiders taking on the Chiefs. For the Chiefs, simple as this. Win, you get the AFC West, and for the Chiefs, they could still get the #1 seed in the AFC. But they have to win the rest of their games and hope things go their way. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, wouldn't they just love to play spoiler for the Chiefs? I don't think that's going to happen. Give me Kansas City. Giants taking on the Eagles. For the Giants, rough game against the Saints, and it's just been a rough season for the Giants overall. They lost Tommy DeVito last week. I mean, it's just been rough, and you hope for better things next year. And for the Eagles, what the heck has happened to this Eagles team? I just don't know. They lose to the Cowboys, they get blown out by the Cowboys, blown out by the Niners, and then they lose to the Seahawks, blowing a lead late in the game. What is going on with this team? They have got to get it together, and for this game, I say they do. Give me the Eagles. And I forgot to mention this, we have 3 Christmas Day games, and this is the final one. Baltimore, San Francisco, a battle of the #1 seeds at the moment. This is a big game, guys. For Baltimore, they have a playoff spot, but they could clinch the AFC North with 1 a win and 2 a Cleveland loss. And for San Francisco, they could clinch the #1 seed in the NFC with a win plus losses by other teams. And as for this game, can we say game of the year? I mean, it's a battle of 1 versus 2 if you believe the rankings on ESPN. This game, it's going to be a great game. At least I'm hoping this is going to be a great game. I mean, I expect this to be a smash-mouth, no-nonsense game. And as for the victor, I'm going with the 49ers. Alright guys, those were my picks for Week 16. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Let me know what you guys think of my picks down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. And as always, I will see you guys next time.